I see you just joined, and Miss Vicky, good to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like you weeded your yard. There was a waterfall behind those weeds. So blessings to everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday night service here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. We call it the Wednesday night oasis because it's that little respite that we have between Sundays to get back together as a community and to have an informal, intimate, and rich discussion or a meeting or a gathering where we can share and discuss the topics. The topic this month is facing the feelings, and that comes from our annual theme of 2020 spiritual vision. I think everybody's been here already, but if you are joining us for the first time, we welcome you. We'll encourage you to go to our website, the same website that you found to get us here. We have lots of information. I'll tell you more about that later in the evening. And you will be automatically mic'd, both your camera and your microphone will be muted because that improves the quality of the transmission in Zoom. And tonight, following the service, we will have upper room in Zoom. That's our prayer with the practitioner period. So if anybody wants prayer tonight, that's the subject of what Reverend Tony's going to be talking about. We'll have additional prayer after service. Reverend Sally is here, and Peggy's here to help with that.
Yay.
So our speaker tonight is Reverend Tony Bradford. He's one of our staff ministers. He spoke on Sunday, and he's here Wednesday, and he's teaching a class on Monday with Sally. So Tony is everywhere, omnipresent at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and we're grateful to have you. So Tony, I'm going to turn it over to you and ask that you open us up with prayer. That seems to be the tone of the evening, so there's no one better to do it than you. So, sir, the floor is yours, and then you can launch right into your dissertation.
Great. Thank you, Paul. Again, welcome everyone to our Wednesday night oasis. And Wednesdays were important for me as I was immersing myself in the science of mind. I started using Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as my healing, and learning about prayer or affirmative prayer was life-changing. So right here and right now, in this very space, in this very time, I am choosing to align myself right where God is, that wonderful, loving spirit that flows through me, as me, with me, and that same spirit and love is with each and every one of you at the sound of my voice. We are one. I am using that oneness, that love, and that mind to just ground this time together in blessings. It is raining blessings, and it truly is soaking into my soul. I am whole, I am complete, and there is all good in my life. And knowing that we are aligning ourselves in the one spirit, all that good that is mine and in me is in each and every one of you. I see it, it's shining, it feels good, and I am buying into it. So let's just give thanks for this time, blessing all the words that the laughter that's going to be spoken, the spiritual team that just set this time on fire. What a crew. We are one. I am just thankful for my word. I'm able to release it into the activity, love and law, knowing it's good, knowing it's done, and I seal that by saying, and so it is. Welcome, welcome. So I guess I continue on. All right, my background. It almost looks like the sky the other day, but if you don't know how, or if you are new to Zoom, I think I have about 3 dozen of Zoom backgrounds. So you just have to find one that feels good for you, and you look good in front of it. So Wednesday, I'm going to talk, and really, I'm feeling like a testimonial night, and I might not be able to speak in about an hour or no, about five. So I don't want to do all the talking because I also want to be available to really, really lift up and put together any blessings and into a prayer form for anybody that needs it tonight. So I am thankful for the practitioners that are here and will show up. Sunday I said that you didn't need a practitioner or a minister to use a treatment. You can do treatments, like I said, anytime, and you're responsible, for affirming it and putting it all together. But practitioners are the heartbeat and the blessing of our center. And I'm actually a practitioner for life as being a minister. And we'll talk a little bit about practitioners too. I think there's a fear around calling a practitioner, and I had it when I joined the Center for Spiritual Living at East Bay. So we'll get to that quickly and touch on it when I get there. So after I share a few of my testimonials and the power of prayer, especially when I was angry, then I'm going to open it up for you guys to talk about any testimonials and how the power of prayer and things manifested in your life. And then, we'll choose a few prayer requests and maybe do a chamber of prayer, or the ministers, practitioners, whoever's here can sort of speak that prayer into Zoom. And then we'll end with private sessions in the upper room. So let's go. So one thing I want to set up is we had a Wednesday call, which the ecclesiastical team gets together every other week. And it's such a wonderful time now. Actually, we get together more now that we're sheltering in grace than our once a month or once a quarter. And we are now lifting and loving the center. And Jeff was really excited about me going back to basics and talking about treatment and talking about prayer. This next 6 to 8 weeks, and even after the election, is going to be so nervous and unsettling for folks. And we, I hate prayer warriors, they say that, but we will hold the consciousness of this community and make available a vessel also to pray with you, lift you, and talk about things. So I'm actually doing that at work too. I think it's very important to have that for people, especially in a time of change as the voting day arrives. So, spiritual mind treatment. When I first heard it, I was like, what the hell are they talking about? I didn't know what a spiritual mind treatment. So we kind of say prayer a lot because prayer is what people know. As some of you know, and I tell the stories all the time of where I started. So I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I don't remember if we even prayed. But as I left that religion, I had a bad taste of church, any depiction of crosses, and I felt like I was going. I was told I was going to hell. You name it, and I didn't think prayer was anything. I had prayed to God so many times to change things and take things away and stop the pain I was feeling that I didn't think He listened. So I was angry. I was very mad at God. So that's sort of where the title came from. I was telling Reverend Jeff, I was actually shorter, would you believe? And I looked like my sisters. So everyone called me a little girl. They're like, hi, little girl. Can I help you, little girl? And, the boys just teased me constantly. So I prayed to make me, I don't know, like other little boys. I sound like Pinocchio. Then I grew 6 inches in one summer. So I was like, okay, God, you got funny. just make me tall and skinny. But it is exactly what I needed. That confidence once you get a little bigger, especially in my case, they looked twice before they called me a little girl. So that prayer or that, when I think back to it, I was praying and I was doing treatments long before I knew what they were. And it's so refreshing. And once I found religious science and I understood it, it made just so much sense to me, because I didn't want to pray to Santa Claus up in the sky. I always knew there was God within me, or that spirit, or whatever you want to call it, is within. And again, I say this all the time. When I heard change your mind, change your life, I just jumped at it, and I jumped into the classes, and I wanted to know how to do this stuff. So spiritual mind treatment is one of the tools, as Ernest Holmes talk about that power that is available to the universe, and in the universe, and it's available to all of us. Because I heard that, and I'm like, how do I do it? Do I turn on a faucet? Like, do I go in water and get baptized? No, there's no special tricks. And I always say too that when at the Kingdom Hall for God, I forgot them. Anyway, the folks that are standing on the corner, they have to turn in timesheets, and there is no credit in God. You don't need to do frequent flyer miles to get to God. You really just have to connect within, and that's what I'm trying to say. Where I was taught that you have to do things, and you have to fill out time slips, and you have to stand on corners and knock on doors. So when I heard that I actually can do steps, 5 steps, I was excited. And I think with a lot of you, and we'll talk about this when we open it up, I understood the science part when I heard religious science. And for those of you who know the definition of science, it's when experiments can be replicated and that are proven that it can work over and over again. Light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. And we are taught small little baby steps to show you how this stuff works, and things start manifesting. Okay. And that's sort of why we begin with, we were laughing earlier, talking about parking spots. And that is something we teach in a lot of the beginning classes, is to practice this on parking spots. And then, you move up all the way up to elephants, or, or a new house, or a new relationship, whatever it is. Practitioners. One of the things that, and I really want us as a community to understand and uplift and be uplifted around prayer. I remember I heard about practitioners, and as I kept coming every Sunday, I didn't even go in the upper room, or I just didn't still understand that. And I would walk past the wall at East Bay with all these faces of practitioners. And it took me a while to understand. At first I thought, oh, nobody looks like me. And then I was like, well, where's the dudes? Just in case I say something wrong, I think I'll be more comfortable with a man. Then I'm like, okay, I don't see a gay person up there. So again, if some of you you had that same, fear, or you probably had the same questions. And you got to feel out who you think is important. But the biggest thing I can say is jump in and call a practitioner or see a practitioner. I did the whole thing too. I watched them in the center, and I'm like, okay, who do I like? Who had good energy? Good rapport with me? Who said hi? So I finally, called up. I think it was Richard Scott, because I was like, oh, okay, that's a dude. He'll know my issues. But the thing is, we all are available for prayer. Practitioners are trained to listen, to let you speak and tell your story where you are feeling comfortable, and bring that problem or things you want to see change in your life to the practitioner. And there are tools for us to listen and then sort of guide you in the treatment to what can help you clear your consciousness or help you get to the manifestation you want to see. What we're also told, and this is the part that kind of scares people, especially prac students, usually you come into a prac session and it's my stuff. I can't tell you, 90% of the time I got a problem, I go to Sunday service and I go in the upper room and the person sitting down has my story and my issue. That's how this stuff works. That's the part where you start to believe, okay, this stuff is really true. It doesn't matter what they look like. They had my issue and I was excited because I showed up on Sundays and I started working that upper room even as a practitioner because it helped me also. And that's part of that oneness we talk about. So don't be, and I know Dorothy says this a lot, don't leave or hold any troubling issues and walk away and not feel that you can't talk to a practitioner. That's when the prayer will help you get through that situation or be clear about that situation, and you can get rid of that anger that you have, some of us, towards God. And those, it could be things or those situations that you are needing a prayer to. So it's a wonderful tool. It's amazing. And again, I was like, oh my God, this gets me to that power Ernest Holmes was talking about. I'm excited. How does that work? So, you learn more and more about this great opportunity and tool. And the thing that flipped me out is when we talk about, well, your negative thoughts go up, goes up into the ether. Those are sometimes treatments. And I was freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, how do I stop thinking? The best thing I like about also treating and practicing this stuff is negating any negative thing I sent out into the universe by thinking of my ex, or how you get angry, or when you're cut off while you're driving and you go into a rage. You can turn that around quickly. Treatment can happen anytime, any day, 24/7. And you can do it, especially if you misspeak, or how you catch yourself. Here's the big one, and I use this as an example. When you call off sick at work, you call in, hi, I'm sick today, and you're not sick. You don't have to, you don't have to lie, number one. But anyway, you just put out there that I'm sick. That's a big one. So until you learn how to not say, I am going to call off sick today, just call off. You don't even have to tell them why. But you also can flip it around and go, nope, I'm not sick. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. And, I'm good as exactly the way I am. So that's one of those things I can give you an example to kind of turn it around. So prayer is something also I want you to listen to when you hear a practitioner or a minister speak. Sometimes the ministers on Sunday, we got to add a lot of sort of selected prayers, especially sick and shut in, or we might have some specific names. So that's still under the treatment that each minister is doing as they end their talk. But when you listen to the practitioners, when they set the example for a service, listen to those steps and kind of listen to how he or she does it. And that'll give you another example of how this works and the 5 steps. And we do it at most every event. And again, that helps us become one with the message and again, the consciousness that's about to happen, or the consciousness shift and change. I didn't understand, also as I was growing up, Jehovah's Witness, what that preparation before a service or a talk did, like the treatment or even the music with Cozy or Kev Choice and the singers come on. They're not here to entertain you. They're not. This is not a Broadway show. They are starting to open you up and starting to prepare you to relax into the service. So that Nikki Harris, that was one of my favorite songs that the East Bay Choir would sing, and I knew I was in the right place. I'd start crying, as soon as they opened their mouth. And here's a funny story. I heard more Ricky Byers songs before I saw and met Ricky Byers, from East Bay, and everybody sings their songs. I didn't know that was a thing because I was like, why do everybody know the words to, a couple songs? And then I finally saw her and I met her down in the Sillamar, and I was like, oh, and she's like, yeah, they're my songs. I'm like, well, who are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Ricky. And I just love that. It was such, we were sitting out on the porch. I didn't know who she was. So once I heard her sing, I'm like, oh, Michelle sings that song. And I realized it was Ricky's song. So just the funny stories about understanding and keeping songs with you in your heart or close, they help you also get to that place of prayer. And that's just another tool. Whatever you can do to get you out of that puss of anger and mad at somebody, you can change it around. Um, so the next thing, especially connected to practitioners, don't be afraid that it costs, and that was probably one of my big things. If I'm here because I need abundance, I'm like, well, I didn't know what the structure was or whatever. Um, Practitioners are licensed, and if you set up a meeting and you have that discussion with them, it's for their time, not their prayer. People used to tell me, well, I don't have to pay you to pray for me. It's not that. It's your time, the time that someone is spending with you. But we have so many opportunities for you to connect with a practitioner, especially I think now doing this Shelter in Grace. They're doing free 30-minute prayers. The upper room is free. We're offering it tonight after the service. And that's one thing that Reverend Jeff and the rest of the reverends, we are wanting to get back to basics and have that foundation and that solid support for all of you. And I'm pushing you to get out of that space of any, reservation of connecting with a practitioner. And I'm not going to go into, you might meet one that you want to also meet regularly. And there is, again, lessons and conversations to help you for some more serious transformations in your life. I like prayer. From someone who used to, just the whole idea scared the bejeebers out of me. I like it because I use it and I see the transformations in my life. You all helped me get through a year of craziness, and like I didn't even understand how I got as old as I got because I just didn't even think that way. But when you are ill and you physically can't do things like you used to, prayer was needed, and I can say I was starting to fall back into that mad at God. Why me? Well, why me? Because now I can testify the strength and the community to help keep me and live to be the spokesperson for men's prostate cancer, for cancer, and I am now a cancer survivor. And for those in our community that are going through their own journey with a few of the illnesses that I just mentioned, I now can hold that container of whole, perfect, and complete for them. And sometimes you need to go through it to be able to speak about it and know the truth about it. And that's like, I can't treat and say, okay, I'm going to wake up and no French, without understanding or going through the lessons. For me, that kind of is the same thing. Yeah, I can talk about whole, perfect, and complete, and really know that to get you through that journey. But now I got a little more information. I can really, really know the truth for you, especially for men going through radiation and what that means. So prayer for me is a tool, and it's one of many. And this is a time that I really, really want you to make prayer an important part of your spiritual practice. You need to be prayed up for the next 10 years, I mean, next 10 weeks, or whatever, how many long weeks it's going to be past the election. And your individual prayer, if you are speaking that good stuff and you are speaking a wonderful high vibe of prayers into the universe, and we're all doing it, it starts to shift and change for everybody around you. So this is a time that, again, you might be working individually and helping us get through the shelter and grace, but also if we're all doing it as a community in East Bay and the rest of the world, and we have a lot of spiritual centers, not just, or spiritual folks, not just centers of spiritual living, that consciousness also creates a vibe of good in the world. So don't think you are not contributing, but prayer helps the individual. And just like we align ourselves with spirit, and then we know that God is all there is, if all of us are thinking that way, it's even bigger and better. So do it, and do it a lot. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We're going to start to show you more and more ways to pray. At the end, I'll try to post. I forgot to give it to the team, but prayer lines are so important. If you go into our website in the practitioner section, it'll tell you how to do a prayer request. Guess what? We have a ministry of prayer. Do any of you know that? Dorothy Mendez kind of heads that up. So you can call that number anytime and listen to a prayer. Talk to her about a prayer. Reverend Jerry, even though, excuse me, we were talking earlier, she is over the pastoral care. You don't have to wait till it's a disaster to call a minister or a practitioner either. So she's listed there, but she, and just like the rest of the ministers, we are open to praying with you guys. Unity has an app that you can put on your phone, and I'm big on adding apps to your phone. And Unity has some great tools to help you and get you to spirit. They're sort of not centers for spiritual living, but close. They're like our cousins. So I was looking through the Google just to get as much information. You can also go onto our csl.org, which is the home office site, and then there's also a button or drop down for prayer requests. They can show you the same thing, kind of how to work the different situations of prayer. I think either them or Unity, there's actual recordings that you can hear, and they're kind of general on abundance, on health, you name it. Sally, I saw what you typed. Let's make sure I do. Ask for a prayer online. Oh, that's it. So when you go to our website at oaklandcsl.org, look for the prayer line online and click the link and scroll down to fill out a request. And that's the last thing I'm going to cover. Writing a treatment is very powerful too. That's why in a lot of the classes we go through a few exercises on writing that down. I'm a big journaler. I like that. You can, if you're a journaler, make that part of your practice. Write a treatment every day, or once a week, and whatever it is, once a month, and practice again putting your consciousness down on paper, and you're still sending it out to that power in the universe. I'm excited to just bring this to you all. And one of the last things, and I'm going to open up now, I want to hear what you're doing and how your prayer is working in your life. And when you share prayer and you let other people know what's going on, it could be my issue. And that gives me license to kind of open up and kind of go there if I'm having any reservations. And sometimes the blessings are great too. So share those things, because I hear it all the time. I hear good good positive things, I'm like, I want some of that. I want that kind of stuff. Good stuff is coming. I think I said the other day, one of my favorite things, I know I'm going to win the lottery one day. It's going to happen. The thing that I heard from each person, at least 90% of the folks who win lottery or win money from the lotteries, each one of them say, I knew I was going to win. There's a consciousness of those winners, and that's exactly what helps the energy or whatever making them the winners. And some of them are multiple winners too. They can like win in 10 scratch offs in a week, and you're like, what? And they believe, and that's exactly what the power of prayer is. And sometimes you just gotta be there for it. So how is it going for you guys? So we're gonna open it up. So get into gallery view, and if there's a prayer, and this is what I'm going to offer too, if there's something that's heavy on your heart and you want maybe a lot of us to pray for you on it, I'm open to that. But individual, and again, don't be afraid. Practitioners, it's private, and if you want to tell whatever it is or get prayer on it, that's always the best way for you, is talk to an individual practitioner. And again, you're not alone. I like group prayers. I like big stuff, because I like that energy. So a chamber of prayer is one of the tools they taught us also. So if we're all standing around you, for example, ministers, we do this a lot when we're all together, and the prayer just gets spoken into the room and into the circle, and the vibration is amazing. So anytime we can, after we're done with Shelter and Grace, we'll try to do some chamber of prayers, and just everybody speaking your word into the room. So let's talk. Hey, what's up? Open up. Who got their hand up? Okay, so should they unmute themselves? Who's running or can you unmute yourself?
They can unmute themselves, and they can also, in the participant panel, raise their hand if they'd like to speak. And since this is Reverend Sally, since I'm got my mic unmuted, I'm gonna say a few words. And thank you, Tony, so much, Reverend Tony, for telling us about the practitioners, giving us a little bit of insight into the service that they provide, and the fact that they love to provide that service. It is really something special for them as well as for us. And that was something that I had to learn, was that I wasn't putting them at a disadvantage, or I wasn't inconveniencing them when I called them for something.
Yeah.
They were always, every one of the practitioners that I ever called were always very responsive and loving in their response to me. And it's made a really huge difference. I am where I am because of the practitioners that I have associated with. And I also want to say that when I was first starting to take classes, they always recommended that we get prayer partners. And I will tell you, my prayer partners right now are what's getting me through this time of sheltering in grace and dealing with the smokes and the fire. It helps, it matters. It really makes a difference to have a prayer partner that you can call up and say, okay, I need prayer for this today. And know that that individual is going to be able to hold me in love and grace and speak the word on my behalf when maybe I can't do it for myself.
Yes. So important. I forgot to touch on that. But yeah, prayer partners. And you can have a prayer partner for anything and everything. I had a different prayer partner for losing weight. I had a different prayer partner for education. And the same prayer partner I have today, we met in foundations class. And I think we've been prayer partners 13 years. And I can call him anywhere and everywhere. And we do. And we pray daily, 6 a.m. So find somebody that of like mind. And also, people have also, it didn't work. And when I say it didn't work, either your timing, the schedule, you find as many prayer partners as you think, and as you start to feel that this change. And I'm trying to say, don't get discouraged if it doesn't work out with one or two people, or somebody drops off. Shit happens, and people go through whatever. So it's not your fault, or it's not anything you did. You find another one. Sally, I think there was there was some service we had that sort of matched people up, and we can do that at the center too. I think that's always a
Yeah,
good thing to.
I think you're right. CSL, the Centers for Spiritual Living, I think they are still doing that process. We can find out more about it.
Yeah.
Get it posted.
Yeah, I had a prayer partner, across the country, and it was easy for him because when I woke up at 6 o'clock, he was right at work, and he can pray with me to start his day. So, does anybody want to throw something into the circle?
I want to remind it's Constance that the other way we do prayer at the center is the Ministry of Prayer does the Evening of Blessings, and I've actually been talking to Dorothy about how we can do that online, because it's
I like
how
that.
to create that atmosphere, that same lovely atmosphere where people can go and get as many prayers and just immerse themselves in that. So I don't know what that's the Ministry of Prayer.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that's, I think, very special that we have at the center.
And Constance, one mind, we talked as the ministers team that we want to get something like that going for the next 6-8 weeks. We want to have a container here for folks to come in and come together, get treatments, kind of not a complaint session, but you know what I mean, just some support, because this time is going to be so critical, and we don't want you to be sitting home fuming or worrying about the world. And we can support that. So Constance, just what you're talking about, we talked about that today in the minister's call. So we gotcha. And I think,
Vicki.
Yeah. Hey, Vicki.
Hi. I just wanted to add to something to do with prayer that I really appreciated as a member of the Center for Spiritual Living, and that is the telephone prayers that we get. At least once a month since COVID. And I see that Karen Peterson is online here tonight. And I just wanted to thank you, Karen, because you've called me 2 times and left the most beautiful prayers that I never erase. So if I
love that. Yeah.
I need a little bit of a prayer, Karen is there to give it to me. So I think that it's such a beautiful thing, and it just adds so much. And so I'm just grateful, and I just wanted to let you know that.
No, Vicki, thank you for adding that, because, and Karen, I'll let you speak. Tell the practitioner, whoever, just call me back and leave a treatment on my phone. And just like she said, I got it to repeat. I got it on my phone. I can repeat it over and over again. That kind of stuff is perfect. Karen, did you want to add something to that?
Can you hear me? I just wanted to say that practitioners love to pray. So if any one person has some hesitation about it, it's not an imposition. It's what we love to do. And over time we just get, anyway, so I encourage anybody, as you have been tonight, to just avail yourself of this service. And by the way, whoever's doing upper room, I'm volunteering. I didn't sign up.
All right. I think it's Reverend Sally or Paul. So one last thing I wanted to say, exactly the same thing. Leave a recording on somebody's, I'm going to say tape machine. Recording your own treatment and your own voice and playing it while you sleep is amazing. Something in your consciousness likes to hear your own voice too. So that's a good practice also. Right before a big event the next day, test. And we had a few students, or hopefully if you can put kindergartners in that in the room and then play your voice, that might work too. But recording your own treatment and hear it in your own voice is just as powerful. Paul, you're waving at me with the time. Am I going over?
No, I wanted to add to
Oh, go
something
ahead.
that since we had Karen here tonight, one of the fortunate things I get to do every year is we have an annual, in addition to twice a year, the Evening of Blessings, once a week, Dorothy Mendez and the prayer team gets together and they collect all the handwritten prayers that are submitted in the prayer box, but those can still be submitted by mail for anybody that needs to send in, or an email to Constance. I'm sure she'll get it to the prayer team. But they meet every week and they pray on those prayers for 2 weeks. So I just want to recognize Karen and Dorothy and that team. And then of course the Evening of Blessings twice a year, as well as once a year on New Year's Eve day, Karen Peterson gets a group of us together and opens it up to the whole congregation, and we meet at 4 a.m. on New Year's Eve day. And that is a worldwide collective prayer where there's hundreds and thousands of other groups all around the world that are meeting exactly for that same hour. Our time in California, Pacific time, is 4 a.m. But in 3 a.m. in Mountain Time, or, you know, and all the different time zones at that time, whatever that is in the other time zone, there's thousands, if thousands of people and thousands of prayer groups meeting. And for a prayer for world peace. So we offer that service, and Karen leads that. I want to recognize Karen for doing that consistently every year. And then you mentioned something about the ministers and practitioners will be focusing on the upcoming world events. I mean, we have plenty of things that we need to affirm right now for healing of with fire, healing of pandemic. But I just found something in the first letter to Paul, or also known as First Timothy, a letter from Paul to Timothy in chapter 2, and I just want to read that to you because this will be in alignment with what your goal is. So Paul's writing a letter to Timothy, and he's saying, I'm coming, but here's a few pointers I want to give you before I get there. And so he talks about, first of all, then I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all men and kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life, godly and respectful in every way. So even back in apostles' times, they were praying for their kings and their leaders for peaceable life for all men, and that includes women as well. But I just thought that was interesting, and maybe give you a little fuel for your fire as we move into the elections.
Yes, thank you for that. And I think I mentioned even on Sunday about how this power that Ernest Holmes was talking about has been around for a long time, and the aristocrats knew it. Aristocrats knew about the power, and that was one of the ways they got to keep it and not share that kind of the inspiration around power. So the last thing I wanted to
we have
also,
a couple of hands up too.
I can't see the hands.
Tanya and I think Sam had their hands up, but right now I see Tanya's hand up.
Tanya and then Sam. Why can I see? Oh, I don't have in gallery view. Tanya, you want to speak? Oh, there it is.
Sure.
Hey.
I want to say thank you to OCSL from the bottom of my heart. When I first arrived over 2 years ago, my idea of prayer was very much about pleading
Right.
I grew up
I'll
in
do this if I can get this, right?
yes, I grew up in a Pentecostal church where just prayer was more about just really like almost crying. And I've taken several classes now, and I've had a lot of different practitioners pray for me. Sometimes I felt, and I still feel very selfish, asking for prayer from various people and from practitioners, or having a session with them. But I want to say that through just reading every single day, meditating every single day, I'm coming to a place of really hearing what's going on in my heart, and knowing that my God self is, I'm able to hear, I'm able to listen better than I ever have. I've developed more of an ability to trust myself. Not all the time, and therefore I still request for prayer. And so I'm. Various people know that I've been going through a very hard time in my life, a divorce. And tomorrow, the attorneys will be deciding what happens to our house. And while I want to request for prayer, at the same time, there is this sense of calm that that not by might, not by power, but by spirit. I just keep saying that over and over again.
Love that. I love that.
That no person, place, thing, or condition has power over my life.
Right.
And I have Science of Mind and the people at OCSL to thank for just holding me in this space of giving me strength to move forward in the hardest time of my life. So thank you.
We got you. And one thing came up for me to also let you know, or to say, that's not my truth. So when you hear somebody speak something that's not you, you can completely go, that's not my truth. And even if you think it. So that's another little quickie. You just turn it around. And it's helped me finally get that thought and the thought in the room. But we got you. We got you. And you know, I was thinking too that you know how you can also change the room for kindergartens. You know, if you're prayed up and you come and you come in calm, they chill out. If you come in crazy, they go crazy. So it's that power, you know. So we got you, Karen. You will get prayer tonight. Sam, I think you were next. Unmute yourself and then chat. Thank you, Sally. And then Gabrielle had her head up. Sam, I didn't see his name anymore. Gabrielle, sorry. Do you want to unmute yourself and speak into the circle?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, first of all, I love the upper room. Yeah, it took me a while to get comfortable with it, mainly because I didn't totally know everyone in there, and you're sharing, you know, sorry, I'm going to pause it right now. Sharing, you know, really vulnerable stuff, when, you know, I do, but but it was kind of a cool way for me to actually get exposed to the people in the congregation. And bond in 3 minutes, you know, 3 minutes. And I definitely felt the blessings. And I always felt like I had the perfect person for that moment. And I've probably gone like 6 times maybe, or 7. I think I had a friend who was going more, and I was like, well, she's gonna go, I'll go. You know? But now I check in whenever they say it, and it's very inviting, you know, the way that they present it from the pulpit. Yeah, very inviting, very nurturing, and yeah, I always check in, like, do I have anything? So I think that's a great practice.
Yeah.
And you were talking about your mind putting stuff into the ethers. Praying is my way of correcting that.
Yes.
Like, yes, I have a very busy mind.
Right.
And, you know, I can be judgmental and angry. Like,
oh yeah, I'm good at putting crap in this. Yeah.
Right. But my voice is what
Yes.
that's what I truly want. That's when I'm anchored in my heart and my spirit. And so, and I do think that's more powerful than my mind. So I just wanted to say that.
Wow. Thank you.
And yeah, and prayer, like my whole life I've been interested in, well, maybe not the times when I was away from God, but the way the traditions, various traditions that embrace prayer is like a beautiful study, if you, whichever way you do choose to do it. And I also want to just say, the last share, I really appreciate, I think that Tanya, was that Tanya?
Yeah.
Loved how you said, I'm feeling calm.
Yeah.
And when I'm going into something that I'm nervous about, if I have a week of prayer behind me, or maybe two, if it's, I don't know, it's on my mind or something, I do arrive there calm. Yeah. So
that's a good thing. And and thank you. But one point she made, and I felt the same, I was afraid to say whatever I had on my heart because I thought, oh, am I going to offend them? Or, you know, I was looking for, like I said, a gay man. Maybe my issue's too gay. You know, and we all have that. You know, you try to figure out who you vibe with, and just try it. You know, don't be afraid. And know we are private. We don't talk about it with anybody else. And legally, just like if we were a counselor or a teacher at school, the only thing we can report is abuse, elder abuse, and I think any other abuse to children. You know, so it is confidential. So we ain't gonna see you at the center and go, "Hey, girl, how about that time?" No, that's not what it is. So I just want to make sure you know it is something that we do, we love, and it's confidential, and it's a safe thing and a safe place. Even though it's my stuff and I want to go, oh yeah, thank you. No, we're not supposed to cheer about it outside of it. So anyway, I wanted to say that. Who else? Any other hand? Go back to, let's see. You know you can change the color of the hands too, by the way. They have a scale of shades of hand. I love it.
Tony, if we don't have any more sharing, we can go into and move on. But I want to give everybody the opportunity tonight, even if, you know, really something heavy on your heart.
Yes.
Something you feel like you need to express. You know, one of the great mystical tools we have is prayer. Affirmative prayer will affirm the truth. Now, I'm not a practitioner. I'm just laity. The high holies are here tonight to help you.
See, don't separate us.
No. Trust
we
me.
didn't sacrifice anybody.
I'm way down.
No.
But I want to advocate the service that's helped me, and I know it's helped all of us on this call. And there's many great servants of spirit through the practitioner corps. So if there's anything burning, and we don't settle it in the next minute or so here, there will be upper room right after we conclude the service. So last chance before we move on. There's Dr. Judith up there waving her hand, so she wants a minute.
Thank you, Judith.
Give her a minute, darling. Can you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself, Judith.
Yes.
Hey.
I just want to say that for me, this is a very powerful time of year in general, because Rosh Hashanah starts on Friday night.
Oh, okay.
And then there are the 10 days of repentance, and the last day, Yom Kippur, is the Day of Atonement, when you make your peace with God. And this year I'm taking all of that seriously. I want to be very clear when I come to God. And so I am looking at anything that I need to resolve on the human level. And be ready on the 10th day to be present through a whole day with Spirit.
Love it.
Which I try to be present with a whole day with Spirit anyway, but I go in and out.
Great.
And I am, it's not a fun New Year for us of Jewish origin. It's not fun. It's pretty serious. And this is a good, with everything going on in the world, I am ready to honor it. And I am grateful that I am part of the, the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and that I haven't abandoned my origins, but I'm grateful to have the kind of prayer work that I can do throughout this whole week.
Great. I love that. And thank you, Judith. Thank you for talking about your background or your heritage of Jewish. And remember, Ernest Holmes wrote this philosophy to help. It was to be an addition to other ministers and religions. He didn't intend it to be a religion.
I know.
So,
right.
so with Judith, and thank you for sharing what the whole Jewish time of this part of the year. So adding the spiritual mind treatment to what she already knows, and it's basically, right, Judith, this is a time of cleansing and transformation and your connection with God. So it's almost the same thing, and then you put a treatment on top of it. Oh, it's done. So that's a funny thing, and I see I get loud. I'm getting excited. And next time you're in a sort of a place where there's different ministers, for example, I love when I'm part of a minister's at a funeral or a service or some type of official thing, and I get the treat, and then people around me like, oh, what was that nice thing you said? It is a special way we do it, and people are like, wow, that was nice. And my sister is the funny one about it. She'll call me up and she's like, can you do one of those things you do? One of those things you say or you do. They don't know what it is, but I like how it makes me feel. So that's the kind of practice.
That's great.
Yeah, it's funny. But again, and I like I jumped into, we had a world religion class, but I will go and I want to see all the pageantry that happens at a synagogue. The first time I went to a Catholic church and they had the Knights of Columbus and they had a symphony and they had all these people with different colors. I think the more and more you understand the pageantry and some of the reasons why they do some of the repetitive exercises or whatever you want to call it, a lot of that is just like a treatment, or one of the reasons is that you keep repeating it so you can speak it, it, and it's in your bones. And I didn't understand it the first time, and even as I think Tanya was saying, the Kojic or Pentecostal church, I just thought, what are they drinking? They're jumping around, but it's not it's serious.
Yeah.
And how that spirit fills them up. And I get it now. I understand it. And that, again, is sometimes prayer for someone, that it takes them a different place. And you can go there and release what it is. So it's such a deeper thing. And when you get it, it'll help in any situation. So I'm
absolutely
so excited that you all were here. I'm over the moon.
Let's thank Reverend Tony, everybody, so much. Clap.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you,
Tony.
Thank you. This has been
Thank
a great
you, Tony.
week.
Is that you, Lucian?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna cry.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Good to see everybody. Well, we're going to wrap this event up right now with a few announcements. Join us on Sunday. Reverend Savannah Riker is going to be speaking. Have faith. Meditation at 10 and service at 10:30. Next Wednesday, September 23rd, Reverend Eloise Oliver will be here. Tell your friends and bring them. Don't just tell them, bring them. Bring them to oaklandcsl.org and look for Wednesday night and sign in. Come. She'll be here at 6:30 and services at 7. Facing the Feelings is her topic. September is Coastal or Creek to Bay Cleanup Month. Some of us do trash hikes, neighborhood cleanups, etc. Now is the time to up-level and show some extra love for Mother Earth. Contact the loving stewards of Mother Earth Ministry, Beth Van Arkel or Reinhard Jolie, and check our website under events for more information about recognizing our September Coastal Cleanup Month. This year is the 75th anniversary of the signing of the charter of our spiritual center. Join us for a fabulous parking lot parade, Saturday, October 3rd, between 11 and 1. We'll officially have our Sunday service the next day, celebrating the 75th anniversary on Sunday. So let's hear more about this parade on Saturday from Janine Perry.
Hi, Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. It's Janine Perry again to talk about our 75th anniversary celebration. So, October 3rd, Saturday, I hope you have it on your calendar. It starts at 11 and it ends at 1, and hopefully you can find a convenient time for yourself in between. First step, decorate your car. It's an optional thing to do before the parade and highly welcomed. But please come either way. Put on your party hat, put on your mask, and actually even bring your pet. There's going to be our animal ministry doing pet blessings for people, obviously, while your pet is in the car. So arrive at the parking lot and wait for direction. This event is completely experienced in your car. So volunteers will be guiding you through the celebration parade, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I really hope you can make it. Tell all your friends and family, and thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Janine. It's a drive. We're going to drive through the parking lot, and we have points of interest. That's basically the premise of it. It's going to be a wonderful way to celebrate 75 years of our charter. So please join us. We'll talk more about it as it comes closer. Also, it's time to nominate our favorite nonprofit organization for 2021, a nonprofit partner program. Application deadline has been extended through Wednesday, September 30th. You can download an application from the home page of our website right there. Peter's showing it right now. You can get an application and nominate a good organization to be a nonprofit partner with us for 2021. As we said earlier, we will be doing Upper Room tonight. And if you want to receive, if you're joining us for the first time, you want to receive our new weekly newsletters sent to your email, go to the Oakland Center's website, lower left-hand corner, and there's a place for you to enter your email address and submit it, and you will be on the distribution list, and you will start receiving the weekly newsletter. The newsletter has all kinds of information in it, links to different events. Also, check out our Oakland Center for Spiritual Living Village Facebook group. Every Wednesday, I have trouble with that. I'll practice that more. This private group allows you to connect more directly with our villagers, and you can see our recorded Sunday and Wednesday services and special video messages from Reverend Jeff. Check out the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living YouTube channel. Remember, oaklandcsl.org is your information central as we shelter in place with grace. Here you can get the Zoom information for Wednesday and Sunday services, free drop-in events, save the date events, and you can register and get information for workshops and special events. Tonight, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our fabulous Zoom team, Peggy Cotton is our host and was handling admitting. Reverend Sally Bartholomew's in the background, making sure everything runs right, as well as Constance Chapman. Anthony Prado was doing spotlighting, and everybody mixed everything up for us. So Anthony Prado's back there. Alice Knudsen was doing spotlighting and admitting. Everybody's been doing something. And Peter Gum, all the way up in Portland. Peter, our heart's out to you right now, keeping you safe and smoke and fire retardant. Okay, darling. Stay safe up in Portland. Thank you for doing our PowerPoint tonight. With that, I'd like just to take a minute and do a quick offering blessing. You have an opportunity to contribute to the center on Sundays. You can do it any day of the week. You just can go to our website and click the donate button, which I'll show you in a second. But let's just recite divine love as me blesses and multiplies this offering. It blesses all that I have, all that I am, and all that I circulate. Thank you, love as me. I'm so grateful to everyone. It's quick and easy. It's safe. See the donate button? Everything's on the website. So go right there, press that button, fill in your information, and we'll gratefully receive your gift. So with that in mind, Reverend Tony, we're a little bit over. I'm going to ask you to close us out in prayer. And again, Tony, thank you so, so much. So lovely to see all of you tonight. And you need to unmute yourself, Reverend Tony. There you go, baby. Start.
All right.
Take two.
Unmute. Okay, I'm unmuted. Go. I did. Okay. And thank you all for tonight. And what a blessing. And you filled me up. Just got a text. I have a coworker. His father made his transition tonight, so I have to call him and chat with him. So as I am overflowing with joy, and I am grateful for everyone who joined us and the practitioners, the other ministers. I saw you, Lucian, ministerial students. We are just a praying team. And I am so excited to be part of this community, that community that lives, loves, and stands as one. We are Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and it is a blessing. I am grateful and thankful for the words, the laughter, and the stories. The most important thing is I'm thankful for the love, that love that is in me, that's in each and every one of you. We are one, and it is that love and that spirit that's helping all of us like tentacles from the main heart always reach and grab one, because it is there for you and it is supporting you. I am grateful for just the opportunity to stand in my truth and know, as I have that experience of losing a father, and anyone on the call or was here tonight, any big loss is a blessing. And we're going to look at that, because it begins with God and it ends with God. So I give thanks as I'm going to send my voice, my prayer, into the activity of love and law, into that power, knowing it's the truth and it's done. And help me seal it by saying, and so it is.
And so it is. Please turn on your cameras and greet one another. Say hello. We'll chit-chat for a few seconds. Hello to
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks.
Where's Lucian? Lucian, I thought of you. It's like